The morning shift arrived to a problem. The machine had been running all night, but something was wrong with the print. We released the motor brake and tried to rotate the analox roller by hand. It was stiff, heavier than it should be, and at certain points, it wouldn't move at all. Something inside that roller was holding it. When we opened it up, we found the answer. The needle bearings had come apart. Tiny cylindrical rollers, no bigger than a matchstick, had separated from their cage, scattered in a space smaller than your hand. The cause? No lubrication. That was it. A basic maintenance step missed. And that machine stopped for 6 hours. This is what happens inside a bearing when we stop paying attention. To understand why that $4 part mattered so much, we first need to understand what a bearing actually does. Every machine that rotates has a problem. Metal pressing against metal at high speed. That creates friction, and friction creates heat, and heat destroys machines. This is the problem every engineer faced for thousands of years. How do you let something spin without destroying itself in the process? The answer is a bearing. A bearing solves the friction problem with one simple idea. Instead of sliding, it rolls. Think about pushing a heavy box across a floor. Now put wheels under it. Same box, same floor, but completely different effort. A bearing does exactly this, but inside a machine. The shaft spins, the housing stays still, and between them, rolling elements carry the load. The rolling elements never slide. They roll, and rolling creates almost no friction. That is the entire secret of a bearing, in one idea. A bearing does one more thing. It supports load. There are two types of load a bearing must handle. The first is radial load. This is weight pushing down, sideways force. The load most bearings carry most of the time. The second type is axial load, also called thrust load. This is force pushing along the shaft, like the force you feel when a machine tries to push its own shaft out sideways. Not all bearings can handle this. Choosing the wrong bearing for axial load is one of the most common mistakes in industrial maintenance. So a bearing does three things. It reduces friction through rolling. It supports radial load, weight and sideways force. It supports axial load, thrust along the shaft. 3 jobs, 1 small part, running inside almost every machine on Earth. But not every machine has the same problem, so not every machine needs the same bearing. There are 5 main types. Each one is engineered for a different situation, and choosing the wrong one is where most bearing failures actually begin. The first type, and the most common, is the ball bearing. It is inside your car, your fan, your washing machine. Almost everything that spins has one of these. The rolling elements are perfect spheres. Each ball touches the race at only one single point. That tiny contact point is what makes it efficient. Low friction, high speed, light to moderate load. But that single point contact is also its limitation. Overload a ball bearing, and those tiny contact points cannot spread the force. The ball begins to indent the race. We call this Brinelling, small craters pressed into hardened steel. Once Brinelling starts, the bearing is finished. This is why ball bearings are not used in heavy load applications. The second type is the cylindrical roller bearing. The rolling elements are not spheres, they are cylinders. This one change makes an enormous difference in what this bearing can carry. A ball touches the race at one point. A cylinder touches the race along its entire length. Line contact, not point contact. The same force spread across a much larger area. This bearing carries many times more radial load than a ball bearing of the same size. You find cylindrical roller bearings in heavy industrial gearboxes, large electric motors, crushing and milling equipment, anywhere the radial load is high and the speed is moderate. This is the bearing that runs your factory. The third type is the tapered roller bearing. Look carefully at the rolling elements. They are not cylinders. They are cones, tapered from one end to the other. This shape is not decorative. It is pure engineering logic. The taper means the bearing can handle radial load and axial load at the same time, both directions simultaneously. No other bearing type handles combined load as efficiently as this one. This is why tapered roller bearings are in the wheel hub of almost every vehicle on the road. Every corner you turn, radial load from vehicle weight, axial load from cornering force, both handled simultaneously for years without complaint. The fourth type is the needle bearing. You have already seen what happens when this one fails. The rolling elements are needles, extremely thin, extremely long, built for one specific purpose, where space is too tight for any other bearing. Think about the Analox roller on that flexographic printing machine. The space around that shaft was smaller than your fist. No ball bearing fits there. No cylindrical roller fits there. Only the needle bearing, thin enough to fit, strong enough to carry the load. Three bearing types side by side, same bore diameter. Look at the difference in size. The needle bearing is the only one that disappears into a tight space and still does the job. The fifth type is the thrust bearing. This bearing does only one job, axial load only. It is completely flat, like two washers with rolling elements between them, built for shafts that push in one direction only. You find thrust bearings in rotating crane bases, in steering columns, in vertical pub shafts. Anywhere a shaft pushes against a fixed surface in one direction. Put a radial bearing here, it fails in hours. The wrong bearing in the wrong place is always expensive. 5 types of bearing, each one built for a specific job. Ball, speed and light load. Cylindrical roller, heavy radial load. Tapered roller, combined load. Needle, tight spaces. Thrust, axial only. The machine does not care which one looks right. It only cares whether you chose correctly. And to choose correctly, you need to understand what is actually inside these bearings. So, what did we cover today? 1 failure, 1 $4 part, 3 jobs a bearing does, 5 types, each built for a reason. Ball, cylindrical, tapered, needle, thrust. But we have only scratched the surface. In the next episode, we go inside the bearing. Anatomy, failure causes, how to choose correctly. 8 real failure modes, every one preventable. Subscribe, and we will see you there.